Friday, October 6th, 2023. I completed a bucket list of mine that's been on it for about 30 years. And that's entering a classic car in the Fall Hershey, what's formerly known as the AACA East Nationals meet. As a first-time participant, I couldn't help but notice a few things that I thought were a bit odd and that would likely detract, particularly among younger members. And that was the purpose of this video. On Saturday, October 7th, I put together my thoughts, and at that point, I did not know the results of my car's judging. On that Saturday, around 5 p.m., the unofficial results list was posted. I'm pleased to report I did earn my first junior. I'm not sure what that means. It's just one of the many oddities of this. So I put this video together to capture my thoughts on the top 6 opportunities I think AACA needs to work on to improve the show and ultimately attract new, younger members that want to show their cars as well. Anyone even remotely interested in classic and collector cars has likely heard of the Fall Hershey swap meet. Organized by hundreds of volunteer members of the Antique Automobile Club of America, better known as simply as AACA, the 4-day swap meet, officially known as the Eastern Fall Nationals, ends with an equally large car show on the final day. This video is not about the 3-day swap meet held prior to the final day's car show. I have attended the swap meet several times in years past, and it is a must-do if you're restoring a classic car or just remotely interested in classic and collector cars. Instead, this video is about my first-time experience participating in the car show and my disappointment with it. To the AACA's credit, the final day car show is open to the public free of charge. And I found it quite fun having spectators wave and comment as you slowly drive your classic car both into and out of the event. The quality and breadth of classic and collector cars on display is something to behold. From turn-of-the-century brass era cars to 1990s sports cars such as mine, there literally is something for everyone to enjoy, and I highly recommend people attending it. With Hershey, Pennsylvania just a 2-hour drive away, and my Boxster now eligible to participate, I look forward to entering the car in the car show. As my 59th birthday approaches, it's quite a stretch for me to call myself young in most circles. However, whenever I attend an AACA event, I'm easily one of the youngest people in attendance. So it's with that fresh eye perspective that as a first-time Hershey Car Show participant, I noted a number of things that will likely keep younger members from joining and participating in AACA events. Let me be clear, this is not a slam against the hundreds of AACA volunteers who donate their time and effort to make each event a success. I thank each and every one of them for their selfless participation. However, the resistance to change processes to reflect the times needs to be addressed before there are not enough volunteers to keep these great events going. Here are my top 6 disappointments from participating in the 2023 Fall Hershey Car Show. When you read through the pamphlet for the Hershey event, it provides instructions on how to pre-register online. However, when you log in to the AACA membership portal, you still have to download the form, print it, fill it out with a pen, and then mail it in by the due date of August 15th. You have to have it postmarked. What I didn't realize is that you also need to include something called an SASE. And if you're too young to know what that is, it's a stamped, self-addressed envelope. The idea behind that is when the organizers receive your paper form in the snail mail, they can send you back a confirmation that you are registered. It's fascinating that in 2023, AACA volunteers continue to relying on this labor-intensive process. As the owner and operator of a website with limited programming abilities, I still was able to develop forms using a free, easy-to-use plugin. There are several out there that can handle those tasks and can even tack on online printing. I'm shocked the website managers AACA relies on haven't figured this out yet. Maybe they have, and maybe management just doesn't want to move forward, but expecting people to download, print, and fill out a form, or maybe get handed the form and then fill it out, is just antiquated in 2023. What's inexcusable, though, is when I attended the 2019 National Convention in Philadelphia, this very topic was discussed at a How Can AACA Attract Younger Members seminar held that year. Here we are 4.5 years later, and it's clear the AAC continues on relying on antiquated printed paper forms requiring large numbers of volunteers to handle. Reason number 2 was the fact that the car show was held on Friday. Historically, AACA would run the Hershey event from Wednesday to Saturday. Since the end of the pandemic, however, they switched to starting the event, the flea market, on Tuesday and ending with the car show on Friday. Not surprisingly, a look at AACA's social media postings from Friday's show revealed many people cannot attend the event, the car show, on that Friday and prefer a Saturday event. I want to make it clear, I know this is not the fault of the AACA organizers. Always look to the money. The management team running Hershey Park and the Giant Center likely figured out it cost them money to keep the area closed to non-AACA members on a Saturday. In the downloaded brochure for the event, it specifically mentioned there would be a first-timer meeting held at 9:30 the day of the car show. Unfortunately, like many other things, the location of said meeting was not listed in the schedule. And despite having a PA announcer prior to the start of judging, he didn't, or at least I didn't hear it, if he did, announce the start of the meeting. It would have been nice to know where this meeting was being held, if it was in fact actually held, as I had several questions prior to judging. Before I start with this criticism, let me be clear. I appreciate the tough job car show judges have in front of them the day of the show. Between the quantity of cars and the extent of which they need to judge in only 5 minutes, I appreciate what a thankless job judging can be. To their credit, I was impressed the judging team for my car's class showed up in front of my car at 10:30 a.m. This allowed me to leave my car to walk around earlier, much earlier than I anticipated, actually. That said, I observed a pervasive attitude among the judges that assumes the car show is not everyone's first rodeo. When I introduced myself and indicated this was my first AACA event, none of the judges cared. I wasn't looking for affirmation. I simply wanted to know what they were going to look at and if they could give me feedback that I could improve upon the car. Since the first time meeting didn't happen, again, poorly communicated if it in fact did, I tried to ask the judges questions, to which all of them fell on deaf ears. Even worse, when I tried to listen to the judges huddling and critiquing my car to score it, I was told not once but twice I was not allowed to listen to their feedback, and I was asked to actually step away. How is a first-time car show participant expected to improve upon their car's presentation if they don't know what they're being judged by, or to the extent, with no feedback? I've participated in many other concours, and I always received feedback on what I needed to improve upon. So it was very frustrating for me knowing that experience, how in the dark I was left as the judges went on to the next car. In a disappointing development, the AACA's year-old library and headquarters was closed the day of the car show, despite literally being held in the building's backyard. I'm sure the assumption here is that most of the members attending travel in and stay for several days, and they can go see it earlier in the week. However, what about people like me who traveled in for the day of the show? With my car's judging finished at 10:30 a.m., that would have been the perfect opportunity for me to go check out the building that I've read so much about in the Antique Automobile magazine I received from AACA. I'm sorry, but the AACA management needs to change this moving forward. I find it hard to believe they can't develop a shift schedule for people to keep the building open during the show. If the number of visitors is a concern, then manage it through a reservation form. Again, another example of how to use an online form or limit admission to show participants. As mentioned earlier, the team of judges finished inspecting my car at 10:30 a.m. Knowing I wasn't going to attend the awards banquet later that evening, but knowing I had to keep the car on the show grounds until 3 p.m., I figured at least I would have access to the results before I left that day. Unfortunately, I was told that unless I registered for the awards banquet and attended it, I wouldn't find out how my car fared in judging until sometime next week. Seriously? I spent 2 hours in rainy weather, the whole 120 miles to get to the vet, only to frantically clean my car again before the judges arrived. And then I'm told I won't find out the results until sometime next week. It's inexcusable. And I went home, and as I do this video the following day, I still don't know how my car fared. I was also told I have to make a formal request to get the results of the judge's assessment of the car. I'm fine with that. Again, this is not meant to throw shade at the hundreds of AAC volunteers who spend their spare time working hard to put on great events. Far from it. I hope everyone takes this as constructive feedback and makes improvements that will encourage me and other enthusiasts to become repeat attendees to the Fall Hershey event. What's been your experience? Comment below and let us know. Maybe you saw some things that the AACA management and volunteers can improve upon. Comment below and we can pass them along. Hopefully they'll watch this. And if you haven't done so already, I encourage you to comment and subscribe, as that helps the algorithm grow this channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching this video. Please press the like and subscribe button, comment below, and be sure to check out our other videos on this subject, as well as all of the great content on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions, you can call me at the number listed below, or be sure to check out our main website, guyswithrides.com.